Hi, Mark here, and I thought I'd bring you my new toy in another one of my super high quality video productions. So this, as you can see, is the Boss loop station. It's the RC-3. The reason I wanted to do this video was so high quality is because I saw a couple of videos on, or comments I should say, on YouTube. Where's the camera? Is it? I saw a couple of comments on other YouTube videos where people were asking about how you use the looper and how you change the sound if you wanted to have a different tone over the top of the sound that you've recorded. So I've got the Boss Katana 100w amp with the foot switch, the FAGC or whatever it's called that goes with it. Let's have a look at that in more detail. It's a bit of a rushed video, to be honest, but you know, sometimes you just got to do these things. Okay, let's have a look. Here is the back of the amp, and I'm going to show you how I've got the looper set up in a second, because the way to get the different tones is to run it through the effects send and return. Now, traditionally, you can have a stomp box where you have your guitar input going into there, and then it continues through the signal chain. So you'd either have a distortion pedal or a flanger or something like that if you're running that kind of setup, and your guitar comes in there, signal chain carries on through and goes into the amp. But with the looper, the problem with that is that you can only ever have the sound that the amp is making. So if you've got an amp like this or another one which, maybe a Line 6 model or a Vox or something which has got different presets in it and different tones, the problem is if you're running it in line into the top of the amp, whatever signal or sound rather that the amp is making, the pedal is going to have that tone coming through as well. So you can't change that, even if you recorded on a clean sound. So the way to get over that is to have this running through the effects loop. So what's happening is the signal is coming from the input. So that's sending the signal there into the input on the looper, and the signal that's coming out from there is coming back into the return on the amp there. So whatever sound gets played, the looper records. And I'm using the, I can't even remember what it's called, the GAFC or something like that foot pedal, which is this thing. Okay, and so what I'll do, I'll tidy the setup up and I'll give you a quick demo. Okay, so as you can see, I've got everything in place here, and so on a traditional kind of setup, I guess most guitarists would probably run something like clean on the first channel, maybe something a bit crunchier on the third, and second on the third. I've got a lead sound set up, and on the fourth another lead sound, but the third one it's got a little bit of modulation on there. So let's have a quick look at this. So I'm on a clean setting, and the easiest way to use one of these loop pedals is to kind of get the rhythm going before you start recording, because it's actually really difficult to get in time if you don't get that set up the right way. So what I might do, for example, let's go for a real clean little groove, and I'm just going to play something over the top to demonstrate how you can then change the sound once the thing is recording whatever tone you've got set up in the amp. So let's just put something together. There, I've got my first loop going. Now, so I've got a crunch tone going through there now. So I'm just going to change my sound a bit and add that on there. just recorded the sound over the top of that one. Now, so I'll just stop that loop in a second. What you'll see is on the actual pedal itself now, when you go into this loop pattern on one of these, when the red light is armed, it's going to record. So when you do your first loop and then you stop it, what happens is the light stays on, and then whatever you start playing next, it'll continue to record. If you just want to jam over the top, what you've got to do, you've got to hit the pedal once so that your loop then isn't recording, it's just playing what you recorded. So I can just start that off again now. Okay, and it's ready to record. Okay, oh, it's not recording. Okay, so I don't know if the camera picked that up. So if I hit record, sorry, if I hit start now, and then I hit one more time, so what happened, the red light came on there after I hit it the second time to tell me it was ready to record again. So what I can do is I can keep that loop going. Sorry about that, hit the camera. I'm not used to doing these high intensity aerial action shots, so you'll have to forgive my camera work for this. So look. Record that now. Okay, so the loop's still going, but you might be able to see there the camera's picking that up. You've got a really useful volume control for the loop. So if you've got one setting on your amp which, say you're trying to play over the top of it and you can't quite hear the actual melody or something that you've recorded over your loop, so you've got quite a lot of control there over your volume. So there it is. I think you probably get the idea from watching that. If you are going to run a loop station and you want to change your sound to play over the top, what you need to do is to run it through the effects, send and return, and then whatever you play on the front end there isn't going to get repeated with the wrong tone, if that makes sense. So there you go. I hope that helps anyone who's running a similar setup. Okay, thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time. Cheers.